Top 10 most beautiful places you have to visit in Utah in 2025. So, in no particular order, we're going to be starting at number 10 at Arches National Park. What's going on, guys? Retired Army veteran here, Seth. And I want to start this off with a little bit of fun with some trivia time, all right? So, the question is, what is the most visited national park in Utah? Is it A, Bryce Canyon National Park, B, Arches National Park, C, Zion National Park, D, Canyonlands National Park, or E, Green Staircase Escalante National Monument? I want you to write down your answer right now, and you're going to have to stick around to the end to see the answer. All right, so let's get into this. So the purpose of making this video is going to be to highlight some family-friendly hikes and some of the most beautiful places that you need to visit in Utah. And it's also going to be to help you streamline your plans, when or if, you make that visit that you're planning to make to Utah. And hopefully it'll help be able to help somebody else out there. And it's also, if you're a resident of Utah, maybe you just want to explore more of what this beautiful state does have to offer. It's going to be for everybody. So for criteria for selection, how I selected the hikes, a lot of this was on my own research and information. A lot of talks from people at these the national park visitor centers, and some of these guys that have lived in Utah much longer than I have. I've done pretty much all of these locations, all these hikes as well. So this is my personal experience. The criteria for selection, so it was scenic views and roads, family-friendly hikes, hikes for adults, and if you have older children like teenagers. We don't have any children that use a stroller anymore, or we don't have anybody in our family that uses a wheelchair, but many of these parks and other locations do have paths that are accommodating for strollers and wheelchairs. So disclaimer before we start this countdown. All right, so the disclaimer number 1, bring the appropriate clothes and footwear with you. It's going to depend on where you're going to be in Utah in the season. And when I'm doing these disclaimers, guys, I'm not trying to be insult anybody's intelligence, but I have to put these disclaimers out there because there's always somebody. Unfortunately, there are casualties every year, multiple casualties that goes on at these, especially at these national parks. So please bring the appropriate clothes and footwear. I understand I like comfortable footwear as much as the next person, but if I'm out there, I know I'm going to be doing any amount of hiking on a trail. There's jagged rocks and stuff like that. Bring the appropriate hiking footwear with you. Emphasis on hiking footwear. I'm saying that you can't do some of this. Some of these things can be done with just wearing, everyday casual stuff there. But if you're going to be doing anything else besides some of these things, I would just highly encourage you to make sure you're wearing the appropriate clothing. Wear some, bring a rain jacket, windproof jacket. And if you're going to be coming the cold months, always make sure, of course, you're dressing in layers. Second one, always check the weather before you leave for your trip the day prior and the morning of. There are changes here in Utah quite a bit, so always check the weather on whatever good weather app that you have. Make sure it's accurate. If you need to, you can call the National Park Visitor Center and talk to a high-speed park ranger there that might be able to give you more accurate information if you maybe don't trust the weather app, because we all know that they're not trustworthy. So the third one is to check to make sure that there aren't any trail or emergency road closures. So you can get this information on the U.S. Forest Service website, depending on which national forest if you're going to be at, or you can go on the National Park Service website, and they post up-to-date and accurate information on their trail or emergency road closures or detours or stuff like that. And change, and they probably will change. So always make sure that you're checking for those road closures or trail closures or inclement weather. There are a lot of flash flooding, especially in canyons, slot canyons here in Utah. All right, number 4, so bring plenty of water for everyone in your family, for yourself. Just make sure everybody that, as far as me, as a father, I'm going to make sure that my kids have enough water. It doesn't matter if I'm going out for a small day hike, or we're going for a even just going out somewhere close by. They always have water. At a minimum, they always have water. Make sure that you bring plenty of water for everyone, depending on where you're going. If you're going to go step off and do a little bit of a trail, one water bottle ain't going to cut it. I'm telling you, one water bottle is not the right answer. I'm not saying everybody needs to go out and buy a bunch of hiking gear and stuff like that, but however you have to do it, bring a larger water bottle, um, but bring plenty of water for everyone in your family. Most important. They'll need more depending on the level of physical activity. As a general rule, so you take half of your child's weight. For you guys that have children, for parents here, you take half your child's weight up to 100 pounds, and that is the number of ounces of water that they should be drinking every day. Right? Makes sense? All right. And the last disclaimer: pack a snack, pack a lunch for yourself and the kids, and take it with you in your day pack. If you have to, do it the night prior, so you can actually make sure that you don't forget to take it with you when you go out the door and head out for the day. I like packing a lunch. My kids love being out there on the trail and just, we hike some of the morning and we just find a cool place to sit on a rock or whatever, and they go and have lunch. And I'll also add, after that, make sure you follow the leave no trace principle. Pack it in, pack it out. Don't be that nasty person on the trail leaving wet wipes and napkins and baggies and food chips or whatever you have on the trail. Make sure that you're a good steward of the land and leave no trace. All right, now we can get this started. Okay, so Arches National Park, it lies north of Moab in the state of Utah. It's bordered by the Colorado River in the southeast. It's known as the site of more than 2,000 natural sandstone arches. And the first one we're going to talk about, you're going to see right here, Wilson's Arch. So Wilson's Arch is on the way to Arches National Park if you're coming from Blanding, which is south. It's about 60, 70 miles south of Arches. That's actually where we stayed at an Airbnb because it was the lodging's a bit cheaper down there. It was off season. Plus, as you get up towards Moab, the lodging tends to be a bit more expensive, especially in a high peak season. So it is a little bit further of a drive, but then again, you're seeing a lot of nice roadside stops along the way. And this is one of them. Wilson's Arch is a nice roadside stop. You can see the arch from the road. There's a nice little pull out, so you can park off to the side. It's not dangerous or anything. So when we were there, yes, in the winter, there's a little bit of snow. It was accessible, not difficult at all. Only challenge I'd say is the trail to get up to the arch can be slippery with snow or ice. And obviously, depending on the season, always take caution and look for snakes. The next one is one of the most famous arches in the park. It's Delicate Arch. So Delicate Arch, it's the world famous due to its geological structure, and it's a symbol of Utah. It's quite literally, and it's because it's actually a design on one of our license plates in our great state. So it's also the largest freestanding arch in Arches National Park. It measures 65 feet in height and 32 feet wide. You can just look at that. It's just absolutely stunning. It's just amazing how that is just freestanding there. It is absolutely gorgeous. But I will say there is actually one last surprise before hiking around the corner to the open space to see the Delicate Arch. On this narrow section, if you look up to your right, you will see above you a cave, and that is called the Twisted Donut Arch. It's really cool to see. It has some, offers some more unique views, and it also offers some nice shade in the hot months. So it's a win-win. The next one is the Park Avenue viewpoint in the trail. So looking at some of these, you guys can see here. So this trail is about 1.8 miles out and back. It's easy, and it's actually one of the first things to see and do in the park. It's really cool. If you see the viewpoint and maybe you don't want to there is a trail, there is a parking lot down below if you keep going around on that road and keep driving past the Park Avenue viewpoint. There is another parking lot down below where you can access that trail and come up through that canyon. I just caution you, depending on the weather. It could be if there's some inclement weather, especially like I said, flash flooding, rain, snow melt, stuff like that. That is that area is in a canyon, so obviously water runoff and stuff is potentially dangerous. But it is absolutely awesome trail. My kids loved it. It was fun climbing on the rocks, and yeah, really fun. As you can see in some of these pictures, we had a blast doing this one. All right, next one is the Windows Loop. So the Windows Loop, it includes the turret arch, the north window, south window, and the balance rock. Although balance rock is technically it's a little bit before you get to the Windows Loop. It's as soon as you come out of that parking lot, you will see the balance rock a little bit off to the right. Super cool to walk up to underneath it and you snap a picture, and especially if you look at the picture. But you just see the scope of that picture and how you feel quite puny in size. To be quite honest, that balance rock is just gigantic. Super cool to see though. Definitely don't miss that. All the and these different arches that you get to see on the Windows Loop are so pretty. There's a lot of nice little places that you can walk to and walk around. Just not within the Windows Loop, but in and around the area. So that also makes it fun to explore that. And also just when you're walking around, making sure that you're staying on trails, not ruining vegetation and stuff like that. So, stay on the approved trails that they have there. And so the next one is the double arches. So double arches, that's personally, that was my favorite. I especially liked it because we went there. It was a little bit late afternoon. I think it was around 5 p.m. So the sun wasn't too, it was about 30-45 minutes from the sunset, and I was able to capture some great images, as you can see here. And the larger opening of the double arches actually has a span of 148 feet and a height of 104 feet. It's just amazing to walk up underneath that. You look straight up and look at the opening. It's just, yeah, it's amazing. It's hard to describe in detail, you guys. You just have to go there, see it. The double arches in the parking lot, it's off to the left. If you're coming in, if you're trying to go to see the Windows Loop trail area. So you can either see it coming in before you get to Windows Loop, or like we did the Windows Loop, and then on our way out, we drove over to the double arches, the little parking lot there. And then there's just a little dirt path. And last but not least, we have the Sand Dune Arch. So to get to the Sand Dune Arch is a slot canyon trail. The hike is rated on all trails. It's rated moderate, although I feel it's an easy rated trail personally, even for my younger kids. And even once again, at the time, it's 0.3 miles out and back. No issues there. It's dogs are not allowed on the trail. It is open year round, and that is a fun slot canyon for kids. My kids actually really did enjoy that one. See these pictures. It's really just super cool, really unique, just like everything else here. And actually, on the way back to your car, I would also consider taking a hike to Broken Arch. It's about 1 mile northeast through some open flatland. And it's actually not too bad. I'd say that's also that's pretty much a rated easy offshoot trail as well. All right. So now that we wrap that up, now it's time for our trivia answer. So let's see how much you guys know. And if you get the answer correct, please comment down below and type in Travel Master. All right, Travel Master. All right, I'd love to see those comments, y'all. I want to see who got this answer right. All right, so the answer is, drum roll, C, Zion National Park. Zion National Park is the most visited national parks in the state of Utah, with 4.9 million visitors annually. So yeah, awesome. So yeah, you guys got the answer right. Comment down below, type in Travel Master. Let me know who got that answer correctly. And hey, if you guys also like these sort of trivia questions, also comment down below and let me know if you want some more trivia questions when we're doing the series. I intend to actually put some more in there, so we'll keep it interesting for you guys. Okay, keep these videos kind of fun. All right, so yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe, click on that notification bell, just to get all the updates when I come out with the next location in this 10-part series. And I think I'll give you a little hint. I'll give you a little hint for this one. So this is home to a historic man-made landmark, a tunnel, all right, so hope you guys got that. It's home to a historic man-made landmark. It's a tunnel. That's all I'm giving you. So you guys can come up with your best answers. And so best of luck with this one. And I can't wait to see everyone again in the next video.